Hey, how you doing? Nick James here. Today I'm excited to be joined by the founder and creator of Rapid Transformational Therapy and headline speaker for Expert Empires 25, Marisa Peer. How you doing?
I'm very good, darling. How are you doing?
Wonderful, wonderful. Excited for this conversation, but even more excited to have you headlining Expert Empires in May. I've got a few questions because I think a lot of our audience could really benefit from a lot of your experience, how you built your business. Like you've become probably the best known or one of the best known therapists in the world. So why do you think most therapists are like unknown? They're anonymous. They can't get any traction.
I think a lot of therapists are empaths in their heart. They want to help, they want to make a difference, they go into the caring profession. But if you have that empathic brain, then it's very hard to have a marketing brain. We have the left brain, right brain. And someone who's a marketer and driven and ambitious and motivated is often not going to be a therapist because they're very calm, they're very patient, they can sit and listen for hours. And it's rather saying, why are so many artists unknown? Because they're very good at art, but very bad at promotion. And today, in today's world, if you want to be good at everything, anything, you have to also learn marketing. You have to learn marketing, you have to learn your message, you have to learn mastery. To make it. It's not enough to go, hey, I'm a genius coder, I'm an amazing, I'm talented designer, which is all lovely. But if you don't have the skills to market yourself, to find out who is my audience, what is their pain point, and what is my unique message, then you can often not be heard. You can be amazing and brilliant, but if people don't know who you are, where you are, and what you can do for them, then that's a great shame. So I think we don't realize how essential marketing. I'm very lucky I'm married to a genius marketer. So all my books, I have a marketing for dummies marketing. He's always reading books on marketing. He understands something which is very important. Even when you're good, you have to have that thing, constant, never-ending improvements. Although my husband is an amazing marketer, he's always learning more. He's always reading books and going on courses because you're here to find your gift. Let's say you know what your gift is, and some people don't, but that's only step one. Step two is perfect your gift. Become a master of your craft, learn more. We live in a world of YouTube tutorials. You can master anything. And then when you found your gift and mastered it, you still got a third step. Go out and show the world what you're doing. It's like today, if you want to write a book, you will never get it published unless you also can be a speaker. So even if you say, hey, I was born a writer and I'm mastering the skill of writing, what you require is going to require something of you. And if you want to write a book, you better learn to be a speaker, because if you can't go on stage and go to book signings, you'll never get a book deal anymore. So even if you have a gift, take it and think, what do I require? And what does it require? It requires constant learning more. So therapists are wonderful people, but it's not in their heart to be marketers. But you got to do it anyway. You have to learn something. I didn't know what search engine optimization was. I'm not into computers at all, but I understand that at the top of your game, you got to do more than go, hey, I've got a talent, let me share it with you. You've got to learn more about how to market your talent, perfect your talent, and also understand how to take it out to the world. I learned something interesting about books. When you write stuff, people don't buy a book, they buy a promise. So here's a clue. Put the promise in your title. If you can put a promise in a title in self-help, I can make you thin, I can make you rich. There was a book years ago called Thin Thighs in 30 Days, which probably wasn't true. But there's the promise in the title. My daughter's an artist. And I said, darling, it's not enough to paint what you want. You got to paint what people want. Go back and look at all the stuff that's sold. And that's what you have to paint. Unless you're so rich, it doesn't matter. You can't paint what you want to paint. If you want to make money, you must paint what people seem to be buying. So if you're writing a book, look at all the titles that sell. And you have to be quite savvy about selling your craft, selling your goods, selling your wares.
So other than marrying a marketing genius, what advice would you give like somebody's a newly qualified therapist? I know you certified therapists now in RTT. You're a newly qualified therapist, or maybe not necessarily a therapist, maybe a coach, a consultant, a mentor, something like that. You've got expert knowledge. Where would you, in 2025, where would you start? You mentioned search engine optimization. Of course, there's all these different social media platforms. Where would you start in terms of trying to get the message out there to the right people?
First of all, there's a very clever thing that I found out where you can go on, you have your own Facebook page and you go on for 10 days talking about a product and it's all free. And after the 11th day, you sell people into a group. So start off in a little group, maybe 10 people, maybe 20, maybe 15. And maybe these people are smoking or drinking, or they can't stop eating cake, or they want to get pregnant, or they lack confidence. Have a little group of your own. Don't charge them anything. And every day on Facebook, give them some hints and even do a little group with them. And you're doing that for experience. You're not doing it for money, it's experience. And after you've got that one group, you can eventually get a paid group. So get a group and practice what you're doing with them. Write for your local paper. One of our graduates wrote a piece for a little local paper in Wales, and it was picked up by 2 national papers and 1 magazine, because big publications read little publications in case there's something. They're always desperate for something new. The first thing I ever wrote was my daughter's school magazine. And there happened to be a publisher at school who said, I read that piece, there's a book in you. And I got a book deal because I wrote a piece for my daughter's school magazine. I mean, I couldn't be rejected doing that. It wasn't a stretch, but from writing for a school magazine, I actually got a publishing deal. So you never know who's out there seeing what you do. So write for your local paper, write for your kids' magazine, go on local radio, go on talk shows, and then put yourself out and then do more and more. And if you go on to X, has something called, no, it's not Response Source, it's called Source, but it's for SOURC, a source bottle. Another one called Help a Journo. Journalists will often say, hey, have you got something to say about Ozempic? Have you got something to say about all these people to start, they've now got social anxiety? They want a therapist to say, I have got something to say. I've just worked with a client who to lose weight but is scared of Ozempic, or I've just worked with someone who's now anxious because of this perma crisis. And once you give a journalist one sentence for their article, they'll come back to you again and again. So get on the radio, get in your local press, go on talk radio, go anywhere you can, go on other people's blogs, create your own blog, but get yourself out there. You need to be seen and heard. Start small. It's good to start small because you get comfortable as it becomes familiar, and then go bigger and bigger.
You've worked with some pretty high level individuals, you might say, big names, so Hollywood celebrities, CEOs, royalty, Olympic athletes, people like that. Like, how did that all come about? Like, how did you manage to tap into that level of clientele?
I worked for Jane Fonda in California as a personal trainer in the 80s. And
Wow.
her gym was like full of celebrities. And the thing is, with stuff, you only ever have to have one. One celebrity will say, hey, I'm working with that Marisa Peer, and they all want to go to you. It's like having a celebrity hairdresser, a celebrity cook, a celebrity makeup artist. So I only ever had to have one. And now I've had a lot of celebrity clients, and they either come to me because someone oh, I'm seeing this girl and she's really helped me, give me the number. But actually, recently, a huge celebrity said, I saw you on Instagram, I followed you. In fact, last year, Jennifer Lawrence from White Lotus wrote and said, hey, I'm your biggest fan. I said, no, Jennifer, I'm your biggest fan. But she just saw me on Insta. So nothing about getting a profile. Although most of my celebrities came to me because somebody recommended them. Some of them just, I saw you on Insta, I saw you on Facebook, I saw everything you did on YouTube. And I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to come to you because they can reach you on Insta. They can leave you a message on YouTube. So they came from word of mouth, but also they just found me.
Yeah, for sure. I'm fascinated by you're doing like international events now. And obviously by the way, a lot of these interviews, I do them a little bit selfishly. I ask the questions that I want to hear the answers to. Like we do a lot of events all in the UK. What started the international events part of your business? What was that all about? What stimulated it to begin with?
There's some speaking events in the UK. And then I think the first speaking events I did, I spoke for something called Evercoach in Portugal. And then I spoke for Mind Valley in I had one particular year, I think it was 2015, where I was speaking in Portugal and Croatia and somewhere else. And then I just got more and more work all over the world. Now, last year I was speaking in Saudi Arabia, which was quite interesting. I speak a lot in Dubai, Kuwait, all over America, Australia. I was speaking in Romania last year, and I'm speaking in Aruba this year. And I love that. I love gigs. I think every year I like to go to two places, two countries I've never been to, and two places I've never been to. Last year I was speaking in Porto, and I'd never been there. But I think, again, you get a name, you get a reputation. And I suppose the same thing when you speak. If you're a new speaker, put your speaker up, put it on YouTube, put it on Insta, and then put underneath where people can find you and let them know, hey, I'm ready, I'm open to doing more speaking events. I've never had a speaking page per se where I say, hey, here I am, you can book me. Most people know they can book me because I speak at a lot of events and I really like it. I spoke in Abu Dhabi last year. Was it this year? No, it was last year, in a desert outside. And that was quite an experience. It was really cool, very cold at night, but it was quite a thing to speak in the middle of a desert in a whole man-made stage. And it was great fun.
Well, obviously you'll be speaking at Expert Empires in London.
So
It's in May,
exciting.
so I don't think
Okay.
I don't think it'll be hot, but if it's a bit chilly, we'll make sure we've got the heating on for you. Okay, it won't be like Abu Dhabi at night.
I'm a Londoner. I come from London. One of the reasons I leave Dubai in the summer is because it's too hot. And London in the spring is wonderful. I love London. So I'm very excited to be back in May to speak for you. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, for sure. You've been on my list of people that I'd like to have at Expert Empires for a long time. And the main reason is the essence of Expert Empires is this is the place where therapists, coaches, speakers, consultants, authors, experts get together and learn about business. And as you say, with the best skills in the world as a therapist, a coach, an author, a speaker, if you can't market yourself, then you're not going to make the impact or the income that you really want. So we're really excited to have you there. 21st, 22nd of May. If you haven't already got your ticket, make sure you get your skates on because Axel Areas tickets sold out, VIP tickets sold out. We've got a handful of elite tickets remaining, I believe, but we will sell out before this event comes around. Make sure you get your ticket booked if you want to see the lovely Marisa Peer. We've got Vishen Lakiani, who I know, of course, Marissa is a good friend of yours. John Lee, who's another good friend of yours. I've definitely tapped into all your friends.
You
And
have, but they're
so
all very clever.
yeah, they're all very clever. And I think as well, for me, it's when we've got a community of people that all share the same values and share similar ideas, then it makes sense to bring them all together. So I'm really excited about this Expert Empires event. Thank you for agreeing to join us and being being a headline speaker. Really excited about it. I know our audience. Every time I say to somebody, they go, "Who are the headline speakers?" I go, "Marisa Peer." They go, "Oh wow!" So lots of people really excited to see you. So thanks for making the decision to come and join us. If you haven't already got your ticket, make sure you grab it. There'll be a link or a button somewhere around this video. The sooner you book, the better deal you get. The later you book, the more you're going to pay, and we will sell out. So make sure you get your ticket booked. Marisa Peer, it's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you then.
I can't wait to see you, and all your audience is going to be amazing. I'm super excited. See you all
Okay.
in May. It's going to be
Yeah.
wonderful. Take care. Thank you.